All right, so now we're going to do some composition of functions. We're also going to look at the domains that happen with the compositions. So h composition j of x is h of j of x, okay? And so I'm going to start with j of x, which is 1 divided by x. I'm going to plug in that for j of x. All right? So now I'm going to go to the h function. And anytime I see x, I'm going to write 1 divided by x and then plus 2. Okay, so I'm going to put 1 divided by x in place of x in this case. Now, this is kind of complex fraction here. It's going to be a little bit messy. So I've got to get a common denominator here. So I could make both of these be x. Or what I could do is I could just multiply the top and bottom by this. And if I do the top and bottom by x, I'll show you what happens. It'll kind of make this complex fraction go away. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by x, by that value. I'm going to show you what happens. So I end up getting 4x on the top. And then x times 1 divided by x will just be 1. And then plus 2x. Okay? So next thing I'm going to do is I've got, this would be my solution here because this can't simplify any further. Now what I've got to do is I find the domain of H composition J. Okay. And so there's two parts of this I got to look at when I'm looking at excluded values. The bottom cannot be 0. So I'm going to look at when I first got to look at my first input value here. Okay. My first value that I input into here, 1 divided by x. I've got to look at that first. I got to remind myself this cannot be 0. Because if this was 0, if x was 0 at this point, I would be in trouble because I can't have 0 in the bottom. I'd be in trouble and I wouldn't be able to go forward with this. That makes sense because you have 1 divided by 0. So that cannot be 0. And so x cannot be 0. Now, what else is excluded? Now I'm going to go to my solution and look at the answer. And the top is fine because there's no even root up there. But the bottom here cannot be 0 either. So 1 plus 2x cannot equal 0. So I got to figure out what value of x would make that equal 0. So x can't be negative 1/2. So x cannot be 0 and x cannot be negative 1/2. Those are excluded values in my domain. So now I'm going to start expressing my domain. I'm going to start with negative infinity. And I'm going to go to where I have my first excluded value. My first excluded value, what comes first? Negative 1/2 or 0? Negative 1/2. I'm going to put parentheses there because I'm going up until negative 1/2, but not including negative 1/2. Then I'll do a union. Okay, so I'm putting a break in there. So anything up until negative 1/2 and everything after negative 1/2, but not including negative 1/2. And then I'm going to 0, but not including 0. So I go to my next excluded value. Union, I pick up with 0. So I'm going up to 0, but not including it. And then I'm picking up after 0 to infinity. So basically, anytime you have an excluded value, you're just going to put that excluded value here, put parentheses, put union. So that's kind of a simplified way to think about it.